Let me share my screen. So welcome to the Northwest Triad UCC. This UCC, excuse me, does meet every other month. So it's really important that if you can attend in person or online. So I'm getting ready to be out for a couple of months for some surgery. So I'm not sure who's going to be running it in October. If it's going to be a hybrid like I've been running it, or they're going to do it online only. So just please be looking out for that invite through Constant Contact. We had a bunch of slides that preceded this slide, but they all happened in the first of the month. So no need in rehashing old news. I just did away with them. But hopefully everybody knows 2 times a year that 811 gets to toot their horn. One is in April, which is Safe Digging Month. The other time is, you guys are killing me.
8/11.
811 day. Thank you. 8/11. Yep. So without further ado, this is going to be across the state of North Carolina. And you can see there was a 7% increase over July of 2022. That's looking at last month's numbers. Year to date, 6.8% increase. I'm sorry, I blew right by that slide. And I'm still blowing by the slide. Transmissions for the month of July, 8.3% increase over July of 2022. And then year to date, a 6.4% increase. So looking at the 3 counties, this does cover Forsyth, Stokes, and Davie. You can see the 3-hour did increase 126%. Not sure, is anybody who's calling tickets in having to execute a 3-hour in the room to get the certain utilities located?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it generally the same utilities over and over again?
Absolutely.
Okay. The new tickets for Forsyth actually increased 13.3% last month. But the ticket update, which is good news, right? That's what Lewis Painter calls noise in the system, actually decreased about 9.5%. The average locates per day in Forsyth, 350. Stokes, the 3-hour increased 355%. It sounds like a huge number, but it went from 9 to 41, which, put it in that context, it doesn't seem that big. The new tickets are actually down almost 11% for July, and the ticket updates, which is usually weird, you'll see an increase across the board in the 3-hour, the new, and the updates. But the updates increased 125.7%. We'll look at some of the callers here in a minute. Average locates per day, 32. And then Davie, the 3-hour, 710% increase. The new ticket increased 31.2, 811. Look at there. Pretty good for all. And then 129.7 in the ticket update. Average locates per day, 92. Scott, do I need to close the blinds? You're on a call. Okay.
What is that?
I thought you were looking at the blinds. Forsyth year to date, the increase is 27.4, decrease, even though there was an increase last month, 4.1% decrease for year to date, and then 11.3 again. That's a great trend. Average locates per day year to date, 292. Stokes 3-hour, 170%. The new tickets 19.3, and then the ticket updates 302. Average locates per day for Stokes 42 year to date. Davie 516. New tickets 33.4, and then the ticket updates 267%. Average locates per day 86. So looking at the distribution, Forsyth had 7,001 ticket requests. Kernersville had 1,254, and then Winston had 3,680. Stokes had 631, and as you can see, King had 187, Lawsonville 120, Walnut Cove 141. And Davie had 1,839, Advance had 203, Coolamy 496, Moxville at 1018. All right, as a reminder, you know, if you are putting in a utility and you create a damage, if there is a product release, first call should be 911. The second call should be to the utility owner. Hey, I put in XYZ and broke your gas. Third call should be to 811 to report the damage. Again, we don't capture the information Bobby Boucher's backhoe service was putting in water and hit the gas line. We just say, hey, putting in water, hit gas. Bam, that's it. Davie County reported 7 utility strikes last month. Forsyth County had 33, and then Stokes came in at 3. So this is something new we've added. Hey, the call list, top 10 callers for last month. So in Forsyth, J&L Cable Services called in 403 tickets total. 5-Star Energy Services, do y'all know who they're working for?
Fiber and power.
They're putting in fiber and power? Okay, I've never heard of them before. If you meet with them, would you remind them that we're having meetings in the area that they may want to attend? You can see Southeast Connections made the list, 360. They were 4th on Forsyth County, Ansco and Associates, AT&T Utility, 5-Star Energy again on the 7th, so they're the top 2 spots in the 10. Ansco again, UCLS, Pike Electric. So a lot of fiber overbuilds and a lot of power being installed along with the natural gas. And Stokes, Appalachian Utilities. Has anybody had any contact with those folks? Some of these folks I've never heard of before. There's J&L Cable Services again, Smith Road, Pike Electric, J&S Underground. I'm not sure who they are. Heights Cable Service. A lot of folks, there's a lot of money pouring in to do the fiber overbuilds to bring fiber to the rural areas at the taxpayers' expense. And then Davie County, Frederick and Matthew Robinson Company. Never heard of those folks either. You may dealt with those? Yeah, there's a lot of folks on here calling that I've never heard of, and I can't find anybody who's had any dealing with them. Diversified Utility Group, we know them. Jimmy R. Lynch and Sons, Electricom, J&L Cable Services again. I found this interesting. Davie County Public Utilities. They must be doing a lot of work. Most of the time, folks subcontract that work out. They don't do it in-house, but evidently they're doing some work. It could be tiring some stuff. All right, any questions on the top 10 callers? All right. There is the new state officer for the UCC this year, Mr. Ralph Murphy. Does anybody know him? So he's actually out east. He works for Waza. I think he's a locator. He's a locator supervisor, and so he is the chair for this year. Lindsay Ponce works in this area, right? Or does she work in Charlotte?
Charlotte.
She works in Charlotte. Okay. Did she start in this area?
No.
Okay, I thought she started in this area. Mr. Sean Kelly, and then always Ms. Sandra Johnson will continue her role as treasurer. Mr. Chase Gibson was awarded the Damage Prevention Most Valuable Professional in his efforts to protect utilities and keep folks safe out there. So he got a sticker, he got a challenge coin, and then he got a plaque that was presented to him at the last state UCC. So congratulations to Chase. If you see him, he's a pretty good fellow. He's a catbird. He works for Kings Mountain. I believe he works in the natural gas side of that utility. There is your good-looking NC 811 education team led by Ms. Ann Rushing. And then a funny fact that a lot of damages, or all the damages that occur throughout the year, the most happen in August. So we're not sure why, but that is a dirt report from the CGA. They keep track of that. Maybe the days are getting shorter. Folks are trying to jam more in. It's getting hot out there, or it's continued to be hot with the heat index and the temperature. And maybe sweat's getting in folks' eyes. We don't know, but for whatever reason, most damages occur in August. A copy of this presentation along with the sign-in sheet, and I will add you to it, John. And a PDF will be rolled up to the NCUCC website. All you gotta do is click under one of the 3 counties, and you can scroll down through there, and you can even look at past events, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23. All right, barring any questions and or comments, folks, that concludes my presentation. So we'll go ahead and open it up. Country talking tail over here. Is there any projects that are going on, and we'll start with you, Shannon, in the area? Any issues with locates? We got some locators here. John's on here, and then obviously they don't locate the gas lines for you guys when you call them in.
We got a lot of scattered random services throughout Winston and the area, but you know, overall, I think the locates are pretty good. They come in pretty regular. The only drops is the cables that they're not doing, and then we have to mitigate that through our claims department a lot of times. But other than that, I think everything's going pretty smooth.
So everything's getting located except for the drops, and that's copper and fiber?
Yeah. Just going through the house, from either the pole or the pedestal to the house, it seems like that's the main ones that are not getting located.
Yeah. Okay. In your day?
We don't have any large projects going on by chance of it's just mainly scattered services.
Okay. So the volume you guys have in Forsyth, I think y'all were 4th on the top 10. There are services only, most of them.
They may have, on the outskirts, they may have some new construction needs. No large projects that should be housing the locates there. Most of everything we've got on the outskirts now.
All right. Okay. Heath, no issues. Everything's running copacetic for you guys?
I'm gonna learn her about from the Charlotte area, actually. I came up here to kind of help bring that communication for you and
Okay.
everything.
Well,
So supervisor used to be over, wasn't, gone now, not does anymore. We got new people in place, and we got to look at being hired in.
in this area, in the Piedmont Triad area? Okay.
The National area. Most of those people up there, even that Frederick group you talked about that day ago.
Yeah.
It's a fiber company too.
Fiber, the fiber overbuilds, everybody is getting that money. Yeah. Okay. Hey, one hat, and I like it.
You like it, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we're just working on unlocatables on a daily basis, trying to prioritize best we can. You know, we see stuff come in, like, you know, big mains, things of that nature. We try to make those a priority just to keep the eyes off of them. Contractors got my phone numbers on the locate tickets. They call, again, make my priority, do the best we can to work with them in any way possible. Outside of that, I do have a question for you though. Cancel tickets. There's a time period on those, right?
Yeah, you can't cancel after it matures, after 3 working.
All right, so you're talking about noise in the system, right?
Yeah.
On updates. So if I got a job that I complete for whatever reason, nobody ever comes out there and locates it, but I go ahead and do the work. Would it not be beneficial to try to cancel that ticket even as that? I know you can't.
Yeah.
But it's still noise in the system. There's a ticket out there that somebody's gonna maybe eventually try to get to, but won't need to because I've already done my job. So there's no way to say, hey, I don't need you now.
So if you do that, will the locator still get paid? Even if they don't go out and locate?
Right, likely they should get paid, but don't, you know, they're not gonna do it.
So is that your argument? I've already done the work, don't send anybody here and don't pay them.
Well, you know, the thing is, why waste time to come do my ticket when I'm already done with the work, when you got other tickets out there that people are not done with?
Okay, well, I'll bring it up to Ann and see what, go ahead.
Like, people have multiple tickets, things like that, don't go to that one, go to my next one instead.
Right, exactly. So again, I just thought it might be like noise in the system like you was referring
Well, it's a
to.
good idea as far as work management, because
Right.
you're going out to locate a job that's already been completed. Why do that when you can go out here and
Right.
locate an active job?
Now granted, somebody's gonna say, well, you probably shouldn't have done that job without having it, located, but at the end of the day, I can't wait forever. So, you know, we got contractors out here wanting to dig, we don't want to cut the gas line, so sometimes, you know, you gotta make your best judgment call and, you know, do what you gotta do.
Okay.
Again, just, if it would help out, you know, the locator say, you know, I don't need you to do this ticket anymore. Whatever it is. But I did know that after 72 hours, you can't cancel a ticket.
Yeah.
I did see on some of your numbers on there is a lot of canceled tickets.
Yeah, there are. I'm not sure why they're calling them in and then canceling them later if work has shifted or changed, but at least they are canceling them.
If there's a way to have that communication, you know, if it'd help out, you know, I don't think it would take but a minute to get in that remote ticket entry to put a note on the ticket or whatnot that we're complete with the job. If that would help out.
I'm just taking a note here.
Outside of that, that's all I got. I didn't know how many people would be here, if there'd be other contractors that was being held up to do the unlocatables. I thought we would talk about that, make some communication contacts or whatnot, but I guess I really help you guys out too much anyway. So,
All right, since Scott's on the conference call, we won't bother him.
I don't know of any major project going on right now.
Now, you work for Ron, right? You work for Ron or no?
No, on in supervisor.
Oh, and then okay,
I work for John. He works for me.
okay.
Yeah.
He works for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so no issues getting your locates or anything done in okay. Can you talk, Scott? You good?
Yeah, I took a look at it, so, yeah, I think we're doing pretty good here. David and Shannon can kind of keep you up with what's going on, but we do have a few projects going on in this area. West of Forsyth. So we will be calling out a bunch of locates. You got stadium, you got, man, I'm running to the loss now.
You guys renewing main out there?
Stadium and, Eden. Oh, man, I'm in the wrong regular woods, ain't I?
I'm recording this.
My days are running into all, what do we have going on? Knollwood's coming up, Stratford, there's two Stratford projects, there'll be Knollwood and Stratford, and then, on down towards the academy, there'll be there's another renewal project there. And, that's really the only two, but we've been waiting.
Stratford and Noble.
We do have several large revenue producing projects getting ready to talk to place here shortly.
Here in Forsyth?
Sycamore Downs is one of them, I can't remember it. It's a lot of footage to get out to this new subdivision, so.
Sycamore Downs?
Sycamore Downs. No, I can't remember what it's called. They're both very large ruins. No, I mean, there's probably a couple of hundred houses in there, but.
It's gonna take a hot minute to get to them to
Yeah,
feed the
yeah,
subdivision. Okay.
These are all going over $500,000 a piece. It's coming, I don't know if y'all heard of it.
I have the work order on it, but, Chris is probably sitting on it right now, just waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, they're nowhere near ready for us.
Yeah, Scott's probably already previewed some of it if it's to that point, but, yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
I'll even go up there, great.
All right, we've got, James and John. John, I'll let you go first since you were first up.
I've not got much to pass on. Is there anybody from Windstream present?
No, nobody's from Windstream here.
All right, well, I've tried contacting them about some issues. And what's going on is they're screening their tickets in-house, and pulling their codes off a lot of tickets, and it's a high number of tickets. We go out and do the job and locate the other utilities that are present. And then we'll get called back because Windstream added the code back to the tickets, and it's causing us to go out to many jobs a second time, which takes away from us being able to go to the next job and get the real tickets, not real tickets, but, avoiding the second trip out there. I don't know if that's something that you can pass on to them. I'm not quite sure how this works, so.
Yeah, I can pass it on to Ann and see if she can maybe either reach out to them or get Lewis to reach out to them to get them. So you guys work for Windstream. Originally, they're scrubbing the tickets. You don't have any locate there. And then they're coming back, let's say a short time later, a day or two, and said, oh yeah, we do have something there. You need to go back out and locate it.
Yes, sir.
You guys are making 2 trips.
Right. And it's a good amount of work, a good amount of tickets being done. So, not quite sure why they've started doing that, but it's been going on about 6 months. So that's really the only issue that I have going on. We got a lot of projects going on, trying to keep up, constantly hiring. So, anybody good workers out there, send them our way, guys. Trying to staff up and keep up with all this project work. It's a busy year.
Okay. All right, I'll reach out to her after this meeting and see if she can do anything about it or get Lewis to it.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. All right, James. I hope you have a mic, maybe. James, did you sign in? I think he's with, what's the gas company up north? West? God, my mind is working. I'm sorry?
Frontier.
Frontier, thank you, Frontier. I think James might be with Frontier. His name looks familiar. Past meeting. All right, team, that's all I have, unless anybody has anything else. I don't think James has any comms. Yeah, I'm not finding James on there. Okay. All right, we'll stop recording. And again, I won't be here for the next meeting, but the next meeting is scheduled for October the 25th. October 5th. So if Piedmont's okay, I'm assuming we'll still have it here. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, Parrish.